How are my levels? I can't tell whether my levels are good because I'm live today. First time live at here at Love Uninterrupted. And because it is the first time going live, I'm really just going to get into it and then I'll begin to explain why I'm live. Um, so I'm working with this energy all this week. If you listen to the audios from yesterday, then you will recall that I mentioned that I would be working with that particular energies for the week. And so I'm continuing to do that. And I just felt that it was best to go live and versus recording messages, then editing, because I want to be of service. I want to provide whatever I'm being called to provide. So that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm live. So if you catch it, if you jump on live, I'm not actually looking at the camera. I'm looking elsewhere. And so I'm just going to get into this message. So yesterday we talked about, or I was communicating, interacting with an energy who was looking for help recognizing signs. And the response that came into that was that everything is tailor made for you, everything is bespoke, meaning it's made specifically for you. The messages that will come through for you, the insights that will come through for you will have a specific significance. You will be able to identify them, whether they be in messages that you hear in this form, whether you are out in the world and you happen to run across a message, a sign, um, um, a business, a person, an animal, um, anything. You know, these are things that you will be able to recognize, but they are coming in all forms. So the first thing that came as I began to prepare for this reading is an animal message. And the animal that came through was so as I looked into that before I started recording, a few of the things that stood out to me was goats are sure-footed, they are strategic, and they flow with the contours of nature. Right? So no matter what the terrain is, some of you may have seen those videos where you could see goats like climbing up this extremely steep mountain, and it just is a demonstration of their ability to flow with whatever the contours of nature are, even if it seems impossible, that they're able to do it. I saw a clip maybe about a month or so ago of these goats where they would jump from one mountain to the next mountain, and they would land on like this little seemingly tiny little protrusion, and it's amazing. It was amazing to watch, really fascinating to watch. So that was the message that came through for you, goats. So I'm going to give some more information about these goats before I move on and get into the message here. So they also are, excuse me, they sense the natural energies. So they know how to move strategically. Again, they're flowing. Pardon me, this may be a bit challenging for me because I'm outside. So they're flowing with the contours of nature because, oh my gosh, I have to apologize now. My mic disconnected. I have to apologize now because I think the sneeze attacks are about to come in like rapid fire. So these they goats. Oh my gosh, guys. Pardon me. I'm so sorry. They like to explore. They like to seek out new areas, see new perspectives. And so what came to me as I was receiving this is that you are an individual who likes to move about. You like to be in different environments. Being in different environments actually may serve you because you have the ability to then get different perspectives, which is then shifting your perspective as a whole. Excuse me, as a whole. And so this may be what you are being called to do. One of the messages that also came through heavy for me as I was preparing for this message, and we talked about in the message yesterday about guilt and shame and fear. And I wanted to touch on that again today, definitely, because I wanted to clarify when we talked about emotions, or when I talked about emotions yesterday, about the emotion of guilt and shame, that guilt is not actually an emotion. Shame is the emotion. Guilt is a factual thing. You're either guilty of something or feel guilty of something, or you don't. And you would only feel guilty of something if typically you've actually done something. So guilt isn't the emotion, but shame is the emotion, and that emotion can be derived from any number of things. But that was the energy for me yesterday, and so as I prepared for this reading, was preparing myself, meditating on it, one thing that was heavy in my mind is that in order to move through difficult emotions, we have to be in our bodies. And I recognize that a lot of times, even in my readings, they're very much in the head space. I'm speaking from a spiritual standpoint, and so you can be out of your body, so to speak, when you're listening to spiritual readings or oracle or channel messages and things of that nature. But as we begin to find practical ways for us to move through our life experience, incorporating, of course, our spirituality, because we cannot really disconnect from that. We are spirit beings. And so it is imperative that we are tending to our spiritual life, but we are also in these physical bodies. And so it's necessary for us to be practical in that work as well. So although I have shown up on this platform as a person that reads energy and will speak on that, I would be remiss if I did not then bring that information down into the physical so that it can be utilized in a practical way. So as I go through this message, I'm saying all this to say, as I go through this message, I'm still doing a reading, but it's going to be geared towards finding ways for us to process our energy, our emotions, which is energy. It's going to be geared towards that. So keep that in mind as I go through this message. I am peering at the screen for just a moment, and I see a couple of people in here. Thank you all for stopping in, for being here, for listening. I just thought it would be, easier to do a live reading today. So I'm going to get into this, okay? First off, I've been talking about. five minutes or so. I just touched briefly on guilt being a factual state versus shame being an emotion. But shame is also a natural emotional consequence of us feeling like we've done some wrongdoing, which I feel is really at the crux of what we're talking about, or the energy that I am picking up on, the energy that I spoke to yesterday, is wrongdoing. When we talk about that, we talk about shame connected to wrongdoing. Our sense of being wrong is sometimes, a lot of times, based on ideas that we have adopted or that have been projected onto us from others. And so, a part of this practical work and working through our emotions, your emotions specifically as you're listening, is being able to identify these contracts, if you will, that you have agreed to, ideas, ideologies that others have placed upon you or that you have adopted that are not truly your own. And when you're able to do that, then you're able to break the cycle of these emotions continuing to play out in your life. You're able to actually sit with the emotion in the moment if it is an authentic one of shame or whatever the emotion is that you're experiencing in that moment. You're able to process it because you are aware where it where it's deriving from, where the emotion is coming from, what is prompting that emotion to arise within your body at that time. And you can process it in the moment and allow it to protect you, allow it to um, fortify you in that moment, or help you communicate in the moment, and then it will recede as a wave does. I say wave. I don't think I used that analogy initially. I feel like emotions are waves, like waves of water within our bodies that rise up in a moment and then they recede, just like the waves of the ocean. So once you're able to do that, then you'll be able to see how your emotions are working for you, all of them, whether they're the emotions that feel good to us or the emotions that make us feel very uncomfortable in our body, but they're all there to serve a purpose for us. And so part of the work here that we're doing is really to help all of us, myself included. I am still doing the work um, of gathering those skills so that, when we are experiencing these emotions that are blocking us from moving forward, blocking us from attaining the things, the goals, the desires, fill in the blank of whatever you want in your life, that we're not crumbling up under the weight of the emotions because we don't know how to handle them. So that was long-winded. Not really, but I'm just communicating. So let's see what are we gonna talk about today? What guidance can we get in relation to working with these particular emotions? Any difficult emotions. Now, as I said, I'm working with this particular energy from yesterday, and shame and fear came up, but any difficult emotions, um, we want the guidance for that. So the first thing is taking care of your physical health. Um, it may seem like unrelated. Like, we're talking about emotions. Why do I need to be talking about my physical health? But we've unfortunately got into this space and time where we are living as fractured beings. And And so we believe that one part of our body doesn't have any connection to the other. And I'm saying we believe that because I know that we don't actually believe that. We have to know that we are whole. And if one aspect of it causes the other aspects to be out of whack as well. So ultimately, since we're having a discussion about healing our emotional body, we have to also talk about what that entails. Eating healthy. Take steps to get healthy. Think about an aspect of your physical health that you have been neglecting or you've been avoiding. Like, are you not eating right? Are you not active? Are you not moving your body? What is it that is happening with you right now physically? And only you can determine what that is, just simply being transparent and honest with yourself. And once you can identify it or do identify it, then ask yourself why. What is the reason? Why are you neglecting or avoiding this aspect of your health? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm pausing because obviously I'm out in nature and nature's happening all around me, and I'm just sort of observing it in the moment. Um, Taking steps to get healthy. I like to give personal stories because I feel like, you know, I don't know. It's helpful for me. So I am really, I'm not unhealthy, but I could do better. There are definitely things that I could be addressing right now in my life physically that would aid to me feeling better, would aid to me um, gaining better clarity, which is helpful in resolving issues that you are having in your life. Because if you don't have mental clarity, then your mind is clouded, it's clogged up with all the things. So I'm saying that to say that these little steps, things that seem inconsequential or things that don't seem like they are related to the root issue or the issue that you may be facing or the circumstance that you are in right now, there are little things that you can do every single day that will move you closer or that will help you in resolving personal issues that you're dealing with. We have this idea that if we focus on this one thing that's not going great in our lives right now, that if we put all of our attention there, that we can wrestle it, because that's essentially what we're doing, that we could wrestle it into place, that we could wrestle it into where we want it to be. But in reality, life just isn't that way. We are not in control of anything except our own beingness and how we are taking care of ourselves, because from that place, from our own self, is how all the other things in our life ripple out into the wondrous and beautiful things that we want. And even in that, there's still obstacles and challenges that we will encounter even once it's in the beautiful place, even once we've resolved the issue that we're dealing with right now. Our truth, like who we are at the core of us, our heart centered truth, that is Sorry, now I got bugs crawling on me, y'all. Our heart centered truth is where all things come from, where all of our things come from, all the things that we create in our lives. And all the things that we are experiencing are things that we have created. We don't always want to take ownership of that, but we are the center of our universe. And all the things that are happening around us are a result of our creations. So coming to the realization of that is a step in your journey. Coming to the realization of your participation in your life and how it has unfolded up to this point. And then evaluating whether what you have is what you want, is it what you desire? And if so, continue doing what you've been doing to create more of that. If not, then take a pause. And then evaluate your life as it stands. Are there things that you could change about yourself, your habits, your eating habits, your when I say eating habits, every time I say eating habits, the first thing that comes to my mind is actually not eating physical food. But I am saying that physical food, but I'm also saying your eating habits, like what are the things that you are taking in? What's the information that you're absorbing? Or is the information that you're taking in, the advice, the entertainment even, is it aiding you towards the life that you want? Your heart-centered truth? I'm getting this earth message, which is one that always reminds me of like being out in nature, like connecting with the natural elements, allowing yourself to reconnect with earth, to reset yourself, to cleanse yourself, to be in flow with. I'm watching these little I don't know what this is. It's not a gerbil. I'm not sure what type of little animal this is that I'm watching roaming around right now. Just see him poking his head up. Anyway, I'm off topic. Drop into your body. I'm hearing drop into your body right now. This may be a good time if you're listening right now, if you're listening live, or if you're listening, whenever you're listening to this, this is a good time to drop into your body right now. If you're able to, close your eyes. I'm going to do the same. So there's a pause that's coming, guys. Take some deep breaths. Wherever you are in your environment right now, if you can drop into yourself, drop into presence, close your eyes if you're able to, and see if you can allow your ears to follow the most quietest sound in your environment right now. I hope you all were able to do that. I got as deep as I could in the moment without leaving y'all on silent for too long. You all have the background noises, the birds chirping in the background. Instead of doing a typical reading, although I've sort of started that, I really am feeling pulled to go through some information about processing difficult emotions. So, if you all bear with me, I do have a guidebook here that I'll be drawing from. Hello to everybody who's here. I'm peeking up at the phone from time to time, so peace and love. I can't really see because I don't have glasses on. Let me see. Hold up, hold up, hold up. I want to let y'all, I know y'all are here. Kimberly Nixon, hello. Phoenix 888, peace and love to you. Thorsten, hello. Serenity Vocalize, welcome. Welcome, y'all. So, I do have a guidebook here, and so I'm just gonna go over this because I'm feeling pulled to do that today, especially again, you all will probably hear me say this a few times in this video that I am following in energy for this entire week. So if you're tuned into the channel today, if you're on this live, I have 2 videos that I uploaded yesterday. Everything that I'll be talking about today for the rest of this week is in relation to that energy. So if you resonate with that, or if you're resonating with anything that I'm saying here today, then please check back in throughout the week because I will be talking about this. And right now, I want to get into our emotions and how we could process them practical ways for us to process our emotions, for us to move through specific emotions, not just emotions in general. Yesterday, I talked about guilt and shame, which are forms of anger. They are anger that is directed inward versus projected outward. And a lot of us, no one really is exempt from these emotions or from this emotion specifically of shame because it is directly connected to feeling that you have done something wrong. And we live in a society that is essentially, we have either the duality of it's either right or wrong. Right? So if you're not right, you're automatically wrong. And there are a lot of traumas that have been passed down or that people have experienced, and there is a lot of shame around traumas. So I want to talk about that today. This feels sort of heavy, but if you're listening, if you've listened to any of my recordings before, I follow the energy, I follow what I am being guided to do. And so we're going to do some heavy lifting today. Um, I feel like I don't know where to start with this, to be honest with you, because I don't really want to jump into it, but I feel like I must. All right, so let's start here. Every single emotion, every single one, is an emotion that is for our benefit. Okay? Every single emotion that we have is for our benefit. There isn't an emotion that exists for us to only experience pain from it. It is a teacher. Our emotions are teachers. They tend to, or when we learn or when we practice the channeling of our own energies, it strengthens us. We're able to move through situations. We're able to make decisions with a clear mind because our emotions are not there blocking us. Unfortunately, there has been no school that has taught us the ways of managing our emotions. And so when we encounter them as children, very few of our parents have been taught the language of emotions and managing them. And so they direct us the best way that they can. And we learn from them how they manage their emotions. And we typically carry that into our adult life. And then the cycle continues. And we will litter the world with our emotions because we don't know how to channel them within. That's the best place to start. Our emotions should be free flowing, right? Allowing them to move through us and then move out of the way. So when we talk about shame in particular, because I don't want to be general here, when we talk about shame in particular, we learn shame from a number of places, and I don't really want to get caught up in like, you know, the, all the different places. I think that we all listening here can identify it within our own lives where shame was taught to us, whether it was in our households and or outside the household. We'll just make it simple. Inside the house or outside the house. And because very few people have been taught how to manage it, then there's no healthy connection with these emotions, with really any of our emotions. A lot of us, myself included, will say that, some of the negative, and I'm using air quotation marks when I say negative because there are no negative emotions, but some of the emotions that don't feel good to us or that make us feel uncomfortable, we feel like we don't have a connection, or maybe some would say there's no connection to those emotions. But in reality, if we don't have connection to one, then it's difficult for us to have an authentic connection with any of them because all of them are serving a purpose, and that is to protect us, to guide us, to inform us, to communicate to us about what's happening in our environment within and without. So your free flowing and authentic shame is designed to watch over you and ensure that you are behaving honorably. And I do want to clarify, like when I'm saying honorably, I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm saying honorably because you and we all have our own honor code. It's coded within us. That's why it's an honor code. Um, so when you're able to, as I said earlier in the recording, where you're able to burn or cut these contracts that you've had with others' ideas of what is right or wrong, then your free flowing and authentic shame can do its actual work. It can step in when you have actually done something that has offended someone, and you will know it in the moment because your shame will come up and it will alert you. It will make you aware that you have overstepped a boundary, you have done something that has hurt another person, and then you in that moment can recognize it and then take the steps to correct it, apologize, make amends, etc., etc. um hmm. Let us your emotions are are like your not they're not like your boundaries, they are your boundaries. They come up to let you know, to inform you, to let you know when you have crossed a boundary or when someone has crossed a boundary of yours. And when we talk about this authentic shame or authentic, the free flowing shame, you being able to allow your shame to flow as it does, you'll strengthen your own boundary. Now, as I'm talking, I'm talking about these emotions. I am referring to like your emotional boundaries, not allowing people to cross your boundaries or creating boundaries within yourself and then knowing how to implement or enforce those boundaries. Enforce is such a strong word. It's really not the word that I want to use, but I'm just going to let it fly. But I'm also getting at the same time as I'm saying this, your ability to anchor these emotional, what's the word that I want to use? Concepts, because emotions aren't really tangible. You know, it's something that you feel in your body. So your ability to like anchor these emotional concepts, not it allows you to enforce your boundaries physically, like within your physical life, but also your auric field. As I talk about the emotional body, I can't help but to think, or what comes to mind is your aura, your auric body, and how being able to channel your emotions appropriately then fortifies that field as well. All right, that was just a side note that just came through. Um, all right, so I don't have children, but I've been around children. I was a child once. And I say that to say that I work with children, though. I should say that. That'll be a good way for me to explain where I'm going with this. Most of us have experience as a child, and if you have children, may have experience utilizing shame to train your children. I so there's an example that comes to mind for me as I say this. So about I work with very small children. Like they're not even well, they're like elementary. And so one day we are out on the playground, and they're all at the water container, the water cooler, wanting water. And so these two little kids, a little girl and a little boy, they're in line, and of course they're pushing back and forth. And so she pushes the little boy. And of course he tells, he's like, "Miss Love, such and such pushed me." And I'm like, of course, I get down, I get down on their level, and I'm like, I'm gonna say her name is Tracy. I'm saying, "Tracy, what happened? Did you just push David?" And she just looks at me. She says nothing at all. And so I'm like, "Tracy, can you hear me?" And she's not saying anything at all. And so I said, "Well, nobody can have any water until Tracy talks, because I'm talking to her and she's not saying anything at all." And so as this goes on, she's still not responding, and all the other kids are waiting. Everybody's like, "I want water, I want water." And I'm like really holding out because I want, number one, to try to rectify the situation with the kids. But also I'm wondering why she's not talking. So this continues to go on for a few minutes, and I finally get her over to the side. And I think, no, before I get over to the side, I say, "No one gets water." Now I'm like, we're not moving until this little girl decides that she wants to speak. So in the midst of that, I can feel the shame that she's feeling. Like I can feel, all eyes are on her. She feels like, and she has, in the eyes of an adult, done something wrong. She pushed this other kid. And so I could feel it. And, eventually I went on about, my business, gave the kids water, and I sort of pulled her to the side afterward. I had to apologize. I mean, I asked her exactly what happened, but also I had to apologize because I recognized in that moment that um, the way that I was attempting to rectify or even instruct was counterproductive. Is that the right term? I think that's the right term. I think that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm saying. So it can be difficult to break ourselves from the pattern of using shame as I mean, I don't want to say use it as a weapon, but it's a habit that has been in a way of controlling someone's behavior that is so pervasive in our culture that it takes very conscious effort to do something different. So I say that to say that as you do your own work of channeling your own shame, you've been conditioned in a number of ways. Not only have you likely, and I'm not saying that everyone has because I don't know everyone, but quite likely shame was used to control your behavior as you were raised, whether that be by family, teachers, etc. And you may be using it. So as you begin to work through channeling your own shame, your own authentic shame, it's going to take effort. It's going to take practice. It's not something that, we'll have this discussion, or maybe you'll do your own research, or you'll start doing your work, and it's something that you will immediately be able to do. It's going to take practice, mainly because shame is not something that we necessarily deal with every single day. It's not an emotion that we may constantly be facing. There may not be someone who is constantly telling you that you're doing wrong, although that may be something that you feel internally because it's a message that someone has projected on you, and you have been unable to release that. So that is, I think that's where we're going to go going forward, is what are ways that we can practice allowing our authentic shame to flow. Because if you don't practice it intentionally, then the next time that you are triggered in some way, or that shame trigger comes up, then however you are responding at this time is likely going to be your response, because you have not learned or trained yourself or began to practice another way of responding. So I'm going to record a video. It's probably not going to be live, but I will record a video that has a practice for channeling your shame, the emotion of shame. And I'll probably, I don't know, maybe I'll upload it today. Maybe I'll upload it today. Okay, who's still on the line here? Because I believe I'm done with that right now. How many people do we have in here? I cannot see. Where are my glasses? I don't even know where they are. The counselor. Hello, Crystal Marie. Welcome in. Serenity Vocalize. Thank you for still being here. I appreciate you checking in just now. All right, so let's see. All right, so now that I've talked a little bit about the emotions. Now what else do we want to get into today? Phoenix 888, welcome. Cece, hello Cece. Hello. All right. Let's see, what do we want to get into? Let us see. I'm going to pull some cards, and we'll just see what comes out. Apparently, I definitely needed to get out that message about shame. All right, so third eye chakra, compassion, conception. Okay. There's a masculine here. This is still related to the same energy. I'm reading the energy. I'm continuing with the energy that I've been in, that I started with on Sunday. Right? This was a masculine that I was speaking to. Now, the message that's coming out now is a message about your third eye chakra. You tapping into your third eye chakra, doing practices that will open your pineal gland, is going to allow you to tap into your point of conception. Your point of conception, the place where creation began for you. It's also going to allow you to open up your mind, open up your consciousness to the infinite potential that you have within yourself, within your own being. You are being asked to show yourself some compassion, regardless of the energies that you may be experiencing, the emotional difficulties that you may have, or the emotional storm that you may find yourself in right now. Show yourself compassion and show yourself grace. Everything that you are experiencing, everything that you are dealing with is something that can be worked through. Everything that you are experiencing is actually helping you to work through it. The experience itself is helping you to work through it. When I talked about earlier, our emotions, all of our emotions serve a purpose. And attempting to evade or suppress what we are feeling emotionally only guarantees that the uncomfortableness of the situation will come back around at a later date, and it will be more intensified. The message of Gaia is coming out, so the realization of our connection to everything, which again just reiterates what I was just saying. The situation itself is helping you to move through your experience. Sometimes when we are in a situation and our emotions are all over the place, and we may be in an emotional storm, and we are looking at the situation, we're looking at the circumstance, and we're like, this is the thing that's causing it, when the circumstance is just the conduit. What you're experiencing is within. It's being reflected outward so that you can see it. But if you don't go within to address it, then the situations will change faces, will change places, will change times, but what you're feeling inside will remain the same. Again, I'm feeling the benefit of being in nature, and I hope that what you are experiencing as you're listening to this is helping you in some way, and being able to listen to the sounds of nature, and being able to simply allow yourself to be in flow with nature. Because when we find ourselves in storms, grounding is, it's helpful. You know, I came outside this morning before I left the house, and I could feel, a bit of anxiousness within myself, and I was like, just go walk, just go stand in the grass, barefoot, take your shoes off. And I know some people may hear that and think like, that's not doing anything. what is that going to do? But it actually does. It actually helps you. It actually allows your energy to ground itself into the earth. There's an exchange, there's an energetic exchange that is happening. So, whenever you can, you don't have to spend your whole day outside, but just take a few moments to step outside, to set your foot on the ground. Even if you can't, because I don't know everyone's circumstance, but let's just say you cannot do that. Use your mind. Our minds are the most powerful thing. The most powerful thing. They're the most powerful thing. Our minds are the most powerful thing. Use your mind and imagine yourself, envision yourself being somewhere. You can put yourself wherever you want to. You can be in Fiji or I don't know, anywhere, anywhere you want to, but let it be somewhere that is a natural environment and you can see yourself placing your feet on the ground, and then see yourself in your mind, see the exchange, see that you are being supported by the earth, see that the earth is charging you, see that the earth is transmitting information to you, see that the earth is, see it how you want to. See the earth as a being and see it hugging you. It's up to you, but I'm definitely saying and seeing that being in connection with nature is beneficial. It's helpful to grounding our energies. And when you ground your energy, then your emotions, which are energy, will balance themselves out. Now, all of this that I'm saying, I'm continuing to say that these things are not something that you could do it. You can do it one time and you will feel some results from that, but these are practices, things that you can do at any time for a few moments a day. It takes literally no time out of your day. We all are walking outside, or maybe some of us. I don't know. I'm saying we all are. I don't know everybody. But these are things that we can do to help us, on our along our healing journeys. Um, oh, I got some comments in here. Hold up. Yeah, I'm not looking at the camera, so please forgive me if you have said something and I have not responded because I'm not actually looking. But let me take a look now. Let's see what we've got first. Let me put some glasses on because I cannot see. Word up, divinely guided. That's what I'm talking about. Sitting outside with bare feet on the ground. Yeah, I know that's right, Crystal. Mastery over emotions is not really my thing. Too much questioning and control, less authenticity, but of course to reflect more often in the origins. Bella would see you, but all is black. Thorsten, I'm not really sure. Hey, Ha El Shaddai. I feel like I'm not pronouncing your name correctly, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're checking in. You always do, and I appreciate you for that. All right, so CC, welcome from New York. I appreciate you. You all could drop. Oh yeah, please drop in where y'all are at. I'm in Georgia, by the way. All right, let's see what else we have here. This is already an hour. All right, we got Massachusetts. Word up, my bestie is in where's she at? She was in Cambridge. I think she's in Quincy. Georgia, New Hampshire, Florida, and VA. Okay. What part of VA? That's Pittsburgh. All right, y'all all over the place. Yep, shout out to Bestie. I really enjoy it up in Massachusetts. It's beautiful up there. And I always seem to go when it's in the middle of winter. But I'm okay with that. Love, joy, truth, knowledge, wisdom, all from UK. Welcome from UK. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you all being here. This is the first time that I've done a live. If you all have been on my channel before, this is the first live. I just felt like do it live today. So, interesting. So the message that I got yesterday, this is really a continuation all this week. I'm working with the same energy. The original question, the video from yesterday was you want help recognizing the signs. The message was your signs are tailor-made. And that message has come out again, tailor-made. So along with that also came out an archangel message. So if any of you are here and you're listening and you are connected with an archangel, I don't know how you say that. Archangel, archangel. Waiting on my granddaughter to be born in Hampton. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. Congratulations, correct. Congratulations. All right, so if you have an archangel that you connect with, archangel, thank you, I appreciate you. Archangel. Then they are sending you signs. They are communicating with you. They're working with you. And I do not have any angel messages out here. But what I am getting, though, is that you're being asked to do some speaking, some talking. You're being asked to use your throat chakra. And I don't know in what capacity, but that's the message that I'm getting here. Encourage yourself, hype yourself up. If you're working on something right now and maybe you're whatever you're working with is thank you. whatever you're working with is whatever you are working on is, if it is calling you to speak, then you're being guided to do that. And I feel like working with this, Lord have mercy, I am tongue-tied out here. I feel as though working through these emotions are going to help you build the confidence that you need in order to speak, in order for you to do whatever work you're being called to do. If you're called to talk or build some platform or be a motivational speaker or start your own business, and you're going to have to be talking to people, generating funds, talking to investors, etc. Working through this emotion is going to help you do that. Because this hype you that I'm getting, encouraging yourself, I feel like that's what you're going to need. Like, you're going to need to be able to do that for yourself. And if this emotion is still stuck within you, then it's prohibiting you or hindering you from getting into this space. Okay. What else? Drink water. Oh, yes, girl, you better talk about that. Please talk about being married to your twin flame. There's a lot of people who want to hear about that. Be vulnerable. Yeah. That's the next message that came out, to be vulnerable, be transparent, and be open hearted. I can only imagine, divinely guided, that journey was one of challenge. And so, with so many people having discussions right now about twin flame, or not even knowing that term, but still going through the journey. Um, I think that sounds amazing, and I think you should do it. Share your story. Root chakra. I'm getting here. The root chakra. Okay, now because that came up, and as I said at the outset of this recording, that this message is going to be heavy on um, dropping into our bodies, like, uh, girl, please do it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm communicating now. Now I'm in the chats. Yes, do it, do it, do it. Um, right. So the video at the outset of this video, I talked about this being um, the necessity to drop into your body as we're doing this work. All right. When listening to readings, you can be very much in a headspace, being more of a headspace, and not ground that information down into your body. And so with this root card coming out, I am pulling one of the mudra cards that are connected to the root chakra. And I'm going to bring this one up to the camera so you guys can see it. So this, oh, where is it? Where is it? Where am I? Oh no. You can't see it, can you? Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Oh no. It's not going to let me show it. Interesting. Huh. Okay, well, I don't know how that works. Well, it's a mudra card, right? The mudra, I'll just tell you what it is. It's the Bhu mudra, BHU. And this mudra assists in grounding, stability, connection to the physical body, which is, again, what is necessary as you are working through or channeling your emotions. You need to be present in your body. The benefits of this mudra is that it reduces stress and blood pressure, and it activates your root chakra. So here are the instructions, since I can't actually show you guys the card. It says extend the index and the middle fingers downward to make inverted V-shaped peace signs with both hands. Then curl the pinky and ring fingers inward toward the palms and place the thumbs on fingertips lightly. I feel like I really need to show y'all that because I don't know if that explanation came out right. All right, let me try it one more time. Maybe if I read it again, I will understand it. All right, extend the index and the middle fingers down to make an inverted peace sign. So if you're from the A, you already know what it is. Then curl the pinky and the ring fingers inward towards the palms and place thumbs on fingertips lightly. Okay, so yeah, basically it's just an upside down peace sign. I mean, like most people would do their hands like this. It's normal. Extend arms and bring the tips of the middle and index fingers into the ground or tops of the thighs, and then relax your shoulders. And the focus or the mantra or affirmation is grounded to the earth, I receive support and abundance. Grounded to the earth, I receive support and abundance. So I feel like again the theme of being in nature, connecting in nature, rooting to the earth, it's coming up again, and simply saying ground yourself and know that you are supported. And that's something as I think about recording the video for processing emotions. That is the practice. It's grounding yourself because our emotions can be very powerful. They are very powerful. Not can be. Our emotions are very powerful, and they move us as they should. But they move us in a more productive manner when we're able to channel them appropriately. So being able to ground yourself, feeling supported is the first part of that. So I think that I'm going to end this live right now because it's kind of long and I could sit here and talk. Oh, we're at like 71 minutes, over an hour. Um, Bo, this is like peace between my feminine and masculine. Indeed, it is. Indeed. So, yeah, I'm going to end this live here. Um, I will likely go live for the rest of like once a day for the rest of the week as I'm working with this energy because I just think it's easier and more productive to go through the messages live. And then I get to interact with you all, which is pretty awesome. This is my first time doing this and I really enjoyed it. I'm glad to connect with some of you who have been leaving messages on the videos. And seeing where you all are from is really cool. And yeah, just getting, excuse me, getting to see what you guys got going on. We got a baby coming through, a granddaughter coming through. We got messages about twin. I'm really, please, divinely guided. I'm asking if no one else is asking. Please do a video because I would love to tune into that and hear your experience. So anyhow, thank you all for being here. I truly appreciate you. And with that said, oh, you know, I have to give I can't close this out without saying if you're still listening and you have reached this portion of the video, you are extremely unique because I do nothing to market or promote this content other than be myself. So count yourself as a cool ass person, because you know you are, for finding your way or being guided here to my spot. And I am truly grateful for each and every one of you. So with that said, I hope to talk to you next time. Peace.